Hey, Tony Guys here. Been getting this a lot lately, this question, and when we doing the Q&As, a lot of times women will ask me about a situation where they've been with a man for 5 years, 7 years, 8 years, 10 years, and wondering, should they go ahead and get married, or they were together for years, broke up, got back together, and now wondering, should they get married? And a lot of times, y'all forgive me, phone here, voicemails and stuff coming through here. Make sure I ain't missing nothing. And they'll ask me about that, and one of the things that I oftentimes have to remind people of is when somebody really wants you, you'll know it. And so what you have to realize and understand is that as men, we have a born picker, and we know when a woman is our wife. For your averagely sane man, like it doesn't have to be a rocket scientist or a genius to know if a woman is his wife. And it can be the first conversation, the first full day, the first date, the first month. But a man can tell if a woman's personality and temperament and mindset, communication style, look, dress style is someone that can be his wife. So what I oftentimes find and what I believe, and there could be exceptions to the rule, and that's where you got to be careful with the exception to the rule, because that's how a lot of people end up getting hurt trying to be the exception to the rule. So you got to be careful with that, and you may need to click the link in the description and have a session, because one of the things you're going to have to deal with when it comes to that is really knowing if a man want to be with you. And what happens is a man gets with a woman and she has some of what he's looking for, but not all of what he's looking for. And he believes that there is more in a woman of what he's looking for. So he keeps the woman, puts her on ice, keeps her on tap, keeps her on hold, and he will be with you completely. Y'all will be in an exclusive relationship, so you think. Y'all will be sexually active. You might even have kids. But if you are not his wife, none of those things matter. He sees you as a concubine. You good enough to have his kids, but you're not good enough to be his wife. He either doesn't believe in marriage, or he doesn't believe you're the one he's supposed to marry. And so he would do everything with you as if y'all are a married couple. But if he doesn't give you that quote unquote piece of paper, it's not real. He doesn't see you as his wife. And what happens in this is men will date one woman and then be constantly looking for another woman, looking for her upgrade, and will date other women and may have to date those women with a long handled spoon, be a little distant. It increases his aura, it increases his majesty, his mysteriousness. The woman on the side may actually start to like him more because he's harder to pin down, harder to talk to, harder to keep up with. So now the lady feels like she's chasing him. She feels like he must be busy. He must be special. He must be really worth it because he's not a bugaboo. He's not chasing me. And it actually makes her like him more. And then she will be thinking about him and all the time that she's not able to talk to him. And then when he gets to see her, he can easily put her on her back. Puts her on her back, knocks her off, could sleep with her when he want to. And now because he's with you and he got to spend most of his time with you, he doesn't really get to talk to her, doesn't really get to build with her. So he really doesn't have a reason to hate her, dislike her. Really ain't got too much to say about her because he honestly doesn't know her that well. and she starts to fall for him. So now, because you get all of his mess and she gets all of his best, he starts to think that she may be a better fit because she's not nagging, she's not complaining, they're not arguing, because you getting all of his mess. When he goes to her, it's like the vacation. It's like a vacation spot. So this is where stuff gets sticky. This is where it gets a little tricky. So now, here you have this situation where you sitting there and you're like, man, to been with this guy for all this time, we live together, got his name tattooed, he got your name tattooed, you done had kids, or any version of that, and you still ain't married. So when you get married, does it turn into a healthy marriage? From my experience, from what I've seen as a coach, thousands of people, the answer is no. And the reason why the answer is no is because typically you marry somebody who never really wanted you, but because they chose to be with you, they couldn't really fully date anybody else. So they never really got to build a full bond with anybody, nor did they get to build a full bond with you. You got 70 to 80% of their time, and then they split up the rest of their time amongst other people that they were trying to talk to, trying to get a feel for, trying to see if somebody else would be a better fit than you. But it was impossible to do because they hadn't already sold you the dream. So they were kind of stuck. So after giving other people the bare minimum, those women eventually get fed up, or men if it's a woman doing this. Y'all forgive me now, I'm sitting in the dark. Sitting in the dark is putting me to sleep. So now, given the bare minimum, so those other people, they start to say, okay, I ain't getting nothing from this relationship. I'm finna get on up out of here. I'm finna go on about my business. So they get on up to go on about their business, and now the person has to crawl back to you. And you got a soul tie. So you done caught them on text, on Facebook. You done caught them doing whatever, emotional cheating. Maybe even caught them physically cheating. But you love them. You been with them. They familiar. You may have kids or a child. You may live together. May have a LLC together, non-profit together. You doing things, all of this. So you feel hooked. You feel stuck. So you feel like, what the heck, I might as well forgive, because if they love me like they love me and they'll cheat on me, who else won't cheat on me? If I leave them and go get with somebody else, all I'm going to do is get cheated on again. So I might as well stay right here where I already know the person versus going to start all over. So then you do that. You get to that point, you stay. When you stay, they lose a little respect for you. Because you stayed, now you done got cheated on and you condoned it. So they lose a little respect for you. Next thing you know, y'all stay together. You get older and older and older. Then eventually, the man say, all right, let's get married. It's year 7, year 8, year 10, year 13. You get married, now it gets real. You change, they change. Now you realize that piece of paper ain't just a piece of paper. Now you realize it come with a lot. It come with a mindset shift. It come with a sense of entitlement. It come with a sense of ownership. It come with different things. It's not just a piece of paper. Next thing you know, y'all start fighting like cats and dogs. Now, because your relationship, you've already been together for a lifetime. Now, after a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you ready to go ahead, file for divorce, call it quits, and go on your own separate way. Go on your separate way. And that's just where you at. That's just where you at. 1 second. So you got to think about that. And it just comes to that place to where it's like, okay, what do we do now? Because now you look back and you're like, well, we done tried it all now. We dating, living together, having kids, finally got married. Now we fighting like cats and dogs. We might as well get a divorce because we done been through the ringer. We done been through it all. And I never forget, I was talking to a guy. He had been with his lady for years. And I was like, why you don't marry that woman? He was like, because I don't think she the one. I was like, why you don't think she the one? He was like, her family just different. They just kind of like, they kind of like ghetto. Like they kind of like petty and they kind of greedy and just kind of like entitled. And he was like, my family ain't like that. And I was like, so why you done been with her for so long? He was like, I just got with her in college and just got used to her. Like, you know, she was like my first real love, first real girlfriend. So I'm like, okay, so you ain't gonna marry her? He was like, nah. And then because he really went all the way into her and he started having more options, he ended up cheating on her. Cheated on her. She found out. She broke up with him. She broke up with him. He let her go. Now he got to experience a soul tie. So now he gets to experience a soul tie because he missing her like crazy, and they already got a kid together. So after breaking up with her, a few months later, they get back together. And he decide he gonna propose. So he proposed. She accepts it because that's what she wanted. She wanted marriage. So she accepts it. They get married. Can't see eye to eye, bickering, complaining. She still bringing up the past by him cheating, everything he did. It just ain't going how he wanted to go. Within a couple years, they go through a divorce. And that was just, you know, a microcosm of the macrocosm. Just a small little example of what I see happen all the time. All the time people come to me and they say, Tony, you know, going through a divorce, going through a breakup. We was together 15 years before we got married. Together 13 years, 12 years, 10 years. Like, how y'all was together so long? Well, we got together in middle school, got together in high school, got together in college. And I was like, oh, okay. So y'all got together before you even knew who you really were. You got together before you knew what real love was, before you knew what a real relationship was, before you knew what a real man was, what a real woman was. Y'all got together before everything. And then while y'all was together, y'all started to grow. You started to learn. You started to change. And you started to realize just how different y'all are. But because you had familiarity, you didn't want to let it go. Or because you hadn't got into grown folks' business, meaning having a house together, apartment together, business together, kids together, now you felt stuck, you felt trapped, you felt obligated to make it work. So you try to make it work and it's not working. And so what you have to realize with them long-term relationships, if you don't have the wherewithal to get married within 3 years, it's pretty much a wrap. 9 out of 10 times. So if you've been together over 3 years and you still not married, you got to evaluate how you really feel about this relationship. How is your heart? Are you happy? Are you in love, or are you in addiction? Are you addicted, or is it love? And you got to really get down to the root of it. But hey, this Tony Gaskins. God bless you. Keep your head up. Got to keep grinding. Got to keep doing the right thing. I'll be popping on here answering questions as I go, and so y'all go put your questions in the comment section. Sometimes I see every now and then. But God bless you. We will talk soon. All the important links are in the description. Talk soon.